This stunning dress was bought in Paris around 1987. It's velvet, Duchess satin, and silk charmeuse. I can't wait to show you how it's made inside. This is a very intricately designed dress. Let's start at the top and work down. First of all, let's take a look at this collar. I find this fascinating. The left side of the collar is the charmeuse, and it wraps around to the back, has a snap underneath. This has two hooks, one here and one here. So the first one goes here, and the second one has two loops, so you can adjust it 1/4 of an inch. It's pleated into this V, this point, and then comes past center front and is tucked in. I love this. This is so French. Duchess satin backed with a charmeuse, and it feels like it has a very good stiff interfacing. Velvet, and this is a cotton velvet. This is not the rayon or silk velvet. This is more of a cotton. It probably is a blend with something else. I believe this area was taken in, and of course now the dress needs to be let out, and I dare not adjust this because the velvet would be marred. It has armhole princess seams. The sleeves are pleated. Let's count the pleats, and these are sewn down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this sleeve is super wide. It tapers to the wrist, and it has a slit with a button and a thread chain loop. And it's lined with habitaille or China silk. The hem is simply folded up. The collar has this beautiful pin, and it is pinned on. This is the waist right here, so this fits the hips with this beautiful buckle. And again, Duchess satin. It's tucked and goes all the way around to the back. Skirt, it goes to, I would say, mid-calf or a little bit below. The skirt has these beautiful pleats, and then it tapers down. It's very narrow, and this is a curve, as you see. It's faced, it has a facing that feels like it's about 1.5 inches wide, and then the lining is sewn close to the hemline. You'll see a pin here because I've been asked to put a slit up the back and there's no back seam. But it's very hard to walk in this dress. Normally I don't like to alter things in a way that it changes the design, but if the woman cannot wear it, then it has to be changed. The back, as you will see, is being worked on. It was too big when she bought it, but 30 years later, it's a little small. Here is the label. I dare not even try to say the name. Since I have a Texas accent, I don't dare try to speak French. Now, this originally closed like this. But I have to let this dress out, and I'm not exactly sure yet how to deal with this. I'd hoped that this would just be folded, but there's a seam here. It has to come all the way out. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I did put these panels in it. And again, this was at the request of the person that owns the dress. It's stretch velvet, and because it's under her arm and there's so much going on, we thought that it won't really take away from the dress and she'll be able to wear it. I also let out the sleeve. It had been taken in for her originally, but I let it out here to give her more room across the bust. Let's take a look inside the dress. You can see there's a pleat at the center back with an opening. So this is really interesting. I'm just seeing this for the first time, this snap. So this snap goes across here. The zipper zips up and then is tucked into that little hole, and you never see it because this covers it up. My only concern, as I mentioned, is this seam. And there is some marring where the hooks and eyes were, but I'll figure that out. The armholes are bound with bias, the same lining. It has this ruffle, and this feels like it has netting, very stiff netting that's been folded over. There's no raw edge here, so I have a feeling the netting was very wide, folded over, covered, and then all gathered. to support the pleats. And then there's a small shoulder pad, but there's really very little in that shoulder pad. It's probably just to sort of protect the body from wear. This is the inside of the sleeve. You can see the silk charmeuse here. And then they have what is sort of like an organza. It's more loosely woven, so I really don't know what this is called. I know this dress is from France, and they may have fabrics there that are not available here. I've not seen anything quite like this before. So this is the first 2 layers of the sleeve. Then the sleeve has an interlining where it is habitai or China silk that's fused with what looks like 2 layers of nylon fusible, and then a normal layer of habitai lining. So it has 6 layers of fabric to make the sleeves nice and stiff. The bodice is lined, and then the lining for this band is actually shaped with darts. And the skirt, this is very interesting. The skirt was all lined as a flat piece, and then the skirt was pleated with the silk. Just like the sleeves had an interlining, the skirt has an interlining, and this is a very, it's a rather stiff silk. It's loosely woven, as you see, but the whole thing is interlined. So it was sewn as one piece, and that's what gives it the nice body. Otherwise, the charmeuse would just collapse because it's a very soft fabric. You see from the front, you don't even see those panels, and probably wouldn't even notice it from the back, but if somebody did, it's really not a problem. And all of this, I probably will have to go back and stitch by hand. Trying to get a sewing machine in there, I just probably hurt the dress. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.